The Grand Prix scene moves to Zolder, a circuit whose compact 2.6 mile, 118 mile an hour lap is very, very hard on brakes, and one where the turbo cars are not at their best. And we saw that in practice, where despite the fact that the Ferraris, the turbocharged Ferraris, were very quick indeed, it was not a Ferrari that was in pole position, it was the Williams of this man, Carlos Reutemann, and there the man who is in second position on the grid is Nelson Piquet. In fact, as I talk to you, there's a double protest going on, and this is sensational here at Zolder, because the drivers are walking away from their cars to protest about the fact that in their view they don't get enough of a say in Grand Prix racing. And that was all triggered off and supported by the fact that the mechanics too are protesting, because Reutemann inadvertently hit a mechanic in the pit lane in practice, and the mechanics are protesting about the fact that they believe there's not enough room. And this is going to be the start. The warm-up lap has been completed, and they're strangely long-winded about actually getting the grid organised. You can see Reutemann clapping his hands. That means to say he's got his engine running, and Frank Williams leans over Reutemann's car. Reutemann shows him the time, indicates when the race is going to start. Reutemann is obviously getting very, very agitated. Patrese too is agitated. Look at Patrese, and the Brabham mechanics are going to push Piquet's car back, and I think that Patrese has stalled his engine. This is more than mere agitation about overheating. Patrese waving his arms to indicate to the drivers behind him, in case the race starts, that his car engine is stalled. It started, the mechanic's gone down behind his car, and Siegfried Stohr has smashed into the back of Patrese's car, and he's hit the mechanic. You can see the mechanic lying on the ground. This is absolutely appalling. A disastrous start. And the poor unfortunate Siegfried Stohr is beside himself with agitation, as well he might be. What is going to happen? Are they going to keep the race running? Because at the start and finish point on the grid, there is Patrese's car, there is Stohr's car, there is the stricken mechanic, but the incredible thing is that this Belgian Grand Prix is still running. And Piquet goes through in the lead, and they're making no attempt to stop the race, with Pironi second, Reutemann third. Jones waves his arm. There's John Watson, who does the same. The drivers are very worried. They're waving their arms. And now Eddie Cheever is waving. He's extremely worried. They're slowing down. It looks to me, and the drivers have voluntarily stopped, and now the cars are being prepared again for a restart of this so far absolutely disastrous Belgian Grand Prix. Reutemann leads away. Pironi's going to challenge on the left. Pironi's going through to lead. Piquet is third. Watson is fourth. Jones is fifth. Villeneuve is sixth, as they go into the left-hander at Sterrenbach on lap one, down towards the canal turn. And it's Pironi, Didier Pironi, the Frenchman in the 1.5 litre turbocharged Ferrari, as he did at Imola, is now leading the Belgian Grand Prix. Reutemann second, Piquet, Watson, Jones, Villeneuve, Lafitte is in 7th place. And Nigel Mansell, the British driver in the Lotus, is in 8th position, and Alain Prost in the Renault is last. 24th and last. 24 competitors started. Through the chicane. Nobody gone off on the chicane on lap one, where the bunching was likely to be the worst of the race, and that is a very good thing indeed, to put it mildly. And Pironi still leads as he goes up to the tail arm and round it, braking hard, and the order is Pironi, Reutemann, Piquet, Jones passing Watson, then Villeneuve, Lafitte, Rosberg, De Angelis and Eddie Cheever. They complete the lap, and it's still the Ferrari, Pironi. Then the Williams of Carlos Reutemann, followed by Piquet. Those are the first three. Alain Prost into the pits. The Frenchman, Arnoux, failed to qualify, and Prost turned out not in the new Renault 30, which everybody was expecting him to do, but the old Renault 20, and it looks as though he's in trouble too, into the pits on lap 2. It's very interesting, because the British Brabham and Williams Ford-powered cars handle much better under braking and steer much better than the Ferrari. But Pironi has got the power advantage, and when he gets to a straight bit, as he is doing now, he can put his foot down and drive away from Reutemann, Piquet, Jones, and it's still Pironi with Reutemann trying to find a way by Piquet behind Reutemann, Jones keeping his station, Watson and Lafitte. Then there's Villeneuve in 7th position, and that's Nigel Mansell in 8th position. A marvellous drive, because this is only Nigel Mansell's 6th Grand Prix. And Piquet's going through. Change of position, first change of position we've had in the top 6 places, and Nelson Piquet goes through and passes Carlos Reutemann and moves up into 2nd position, and Alan Jones is doing the same thing. Alan Jones is through into 3rd position, Reutemann down to 4th. That's exactly what I said could happen as Jean-Pierre Jabouille comes into the pits in the Talbot Matra. And Pironi, there he goes, and John Watson's doing it. John Watson across the dirt at the chicane. Villeneuve drives through it, Mansell closes up a bit, and that's Piquet. That's Nelson Piquet. He's gone off. I can't see where it is. This is absolutely sensational on lap 11. He has won the last 2 Grand Prix, was in 2nd position, still is for that matter, in the World Championship, but is very clearly out of the Belgian Grand Prix. The leader now, still Pironi, followed by Alan Jones, the world champion. Lafitte is up to 4th place, Watson to 5th, Villeneuve is in 6th position, and that means Nigel Mansell will be 7th. Pironi still leads. Jabouille, there he goes, he's out of the pits and is being caught and about to be lapped by the 4 leaders. But he moves over at the left-hander at Sterrewacht and lets them go through, and Jones is through. Alan Jones takes the lead, and Reutemann, something's wrong with Pironi. What a race this is turning out to be. This is the 3rd leader that we've had. No, Pironi down, 3rd position. So the race started, Pironi led all the way, and now Alan Jones has moved through. We have the familiar sight of 2 Saudia Leyland Williams cars in 1st and 2nd positions. 1:23.4. Jones is going quicker all the time. Jones is off! Jones is off into the barrier. While I was talking about that, while I was saying Jones was going faster than ever, off he goes. It looks as though the course must be much slippier, and Jones hopping. My goodness, that was absolutely sensational. As now Carlos Reutemann, the 3rd leader in the Belgian Grand Prix of 1981, goes through, and he has a very convincing lead over Jacques Lafitte now. There's Lafitte, and there is Nigel Mansell getting ahead of number 31 Ginzani. Look at this, tremendously close, and then behind them it's Watson, Villeneuve and De Angelis, and there is Hector Ribac and Eddie Cheever. And that's madness, a photographer crossing the track. I can never understand that. That always happens at Belgium and never anywhere else. That's Nigel Mansell going through. There is Watson, who is in 4th place, Villeneuve, who is in 5th in the Ferrari, and number 11, Elio De Angelis, who is 6th. So it's getting to be a very close struggle for 4th place. Indeed, it has been for some time. And I can see from my commentary box that there are actually spots of rain, and I can see that because that water that you just saw is getting disturbed. You're getting that distinctive rippling when rain comes on it. It's very light rain. And I can see all around me now spectators. I'm in a dry commentary box, but I can see spectators all around me putting up umbrellas. Those of them who've got hoods on their anoraks are also starting to put them up. And now the battle between De Angelis and Villeneuve. Villeneuve in the Scarlet Ferrari, De Angelis in the Lotus, battling for 5th position. No, they're not. They're past. They're past. John Watson is behind them. Villeneuve is up into 4th place. De Angelis is up into 5th position. John Watson is in 6th position, and right behind John Watson is Eddie Cheever in the Tyrrell in 7th position. So the two Lotus 81s, the two, and there goes Cheever. Cheever is ahead of Watson. Cheever is up into 6th position, and that's the mechanic taking. That's one of the Williams mechanics. I don't know what that strange flag is. It's certainly not the flag of Argentina. There is Reutemann. He's going to have to make his mind up. What? That's the checkered flag, and that's 55 laps. I cannot believe it. There's 15 laps to go, and the race has been stopped. I can't. Surely the finishing flag official couldn't have. No, you can't possibly mistake 15 laps. And I think they must have decided to stop the race at 2/3 distance, which they're entitled to do, and still give full World Championship points, because the rain is coming down and they do not want to risk any repetition of the pit lane accident which happened in practice, or, of course, that unfortunate mechanic being hit at the beginning of the race when it first started today. Onto the podium, not happy, of course. It hasn't been a happy Belgian Grand Prix for Carlos Reutemann, but another victory for the Argentine driver, and so ends a Belgian Grand Prix full of drama, excitement and tragedy, and which underlined Carlos Reutemann and the Williams team's supremacy this year.